Hi friends, Justine Froelker here, author, speaker, corporate trainer, and certified Daring Way and Dare to Lead Facilitator, and this is the space that we talk about courageous resilience, sometimes from outside, sometimes in power blazers, sometimes in t-shirts. So we do it in a really imperfect way on random days and with lots of emotion because that's kind of my specialty, and where I am committed to teaching you the skills and tools and language to make real daily sustainable change in your life so that you can choose courage. So thank you for being here, no matter where you're watching or listening, whether or not it's YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, or a podcast player. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe so you never miss a future episode. So it was brought to my attention by someone who's much better at all of this than me, that people find me a lot by searching complicated grief. The title of my last book is The Complicated Gray, and I write and speak and do lots of stuff on grief, obviously. And here we are, 2020. It's complicated. And there's a shit ton of grief in it. Because I believe everyone is in grief. Because I'm not sure I've ever met someone whose life turned out the way they hoped, dreamed, and planned. Now, even if you are someone like me who has chosen to do the work to make it all a gift, it does not delete, erase, or undo, or help you plow through grief. Grief is lifelong. Grief comes in waves and seasons. And you can be sad about something and know it's okay. You can be sad about something and still be happy about where your life is today. Again, I am a forever grieving mother who will always wonder who my children would be today. They'd be 8 coming up. And I love my damn life. I worked really hard to reclaim it. And grief is still lifelong. And this year has been full of grief. No matter if it's a job loss, a job change, relationship changes because of everything that has happened, changes in our schools, changes in our awareness and our level of anxiety that I can't not think about, that when my friends pull out a bag of chips, even though we're all being really safe, that I'm not going to just stick my hand in there and put one in my mouth anymore, because I can't unknow the anxiety of COVID, even if and though I'm really unsure about it at the same time. Again, we're back to that damn and. I know it's so annoying. You can watch lots of other videos on my channel for that. It's all just really complicated. The other piece about this, though, this season, is don't discount how much everything that we are going through is igniting, triggering, scratching at the scar, hopefully, if you have done your work. Maybe it's still a gaping, oozing wound of previous trauma and grief and loss in your life. In other words, right when this all hit, it was actually towards the beginning, and it was Easter weekend, and I looked at my husband, Chad, and I said, I know that this is so difficult for all of my friends, all of our friends who have kids, especially almost all of our friends have 3 kids. They're outnumbered. They're outnumbered. And I was like, I get it. So hard. They're trying to work from home. They're trying to e-learn their kids. Like, it's brutal. And I looked at him and I go, and as someone who wanted kids and who has forever grief around it, it's really fucking lonely to wonder what it would be like to just want so badly to have 5 minutes by myself because you have children clawing at you all the time. One is not harder than the other. They're different. They're both hard. That's complicated. And so in all of the grief and the trauma and the disappointment and the change that we are experiencing in this year, it is going to trigger your grief. Whether or not you've lost someone very close to you, whether or not you've lost a job or a dream, whatever your loss is, grief is lifelong. And this year is probably triggering it. And again, you can't plow through that. I use this metaphor, I have for years. I've had 2 back surgeries in my life, a year and a body cast. I have a very big scar on my back. It's never going anywhere. It'll be there for the rest of my life. I can either pretend like it is not there and not do what is in my control to manage pain, scar tissue, trauma in my body that happened nearly 25 years ago. Which means that scar is an open, gaping, oozing wound. It's easily triggered. When shit hits the fan, when life gets really hard, I'm going to be in massive pain. Or I can take care of that scar. I can take care of that injury. For me, just like really tangible, for me, my back surgery means I have to see a chiropractor regularly. I've even started doing acupuncture. I have to stretch multiple times a day. I have to work on my mobility. I have to watch my weight. Not have to, change the language. I get to, because I want to make that what used to be a wound into a scar that never leaves me and works for me, not against me. Your grief story is the same way. It can and will change if you do the work to reclaim it, to not allow it to own your entire story, in which it becomes a scar that you take care of. Or it can be a gaping, open, oozing wound that is easily triggered, especially in this year. Call this what it is. We are in a time of massive trauma, grief, and loss. We are beyond tired and weary, or fatigued. We are weary. When you add on top of that all of the emotions and the feelings and the opinions, everything is on the surface. And no matter the hard work that you have done around your previous losses or griefs and traumas, you're still probably going to be easily triggered. Because it's just hard right now. You can't run from it. Stop trying. I hope you feel seen in this. Thank you for being here, no matter where you're watching or listening, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, or podcast player. Please like, subscribe, and share. And I'll see you next time.